Hello, you guys. This is Politic Graham. This is just a test. And yes, this is Politic Graham. And you know the rules. Today we're going to talk about a few things, but I'm going to break this up in parts because I was a little late, and my apologies. Today is December 16th, 2024, and we're going to give some updates on Diddy versus Jay-Z versus Jamie Foxx versus Will Smith. Yes, you see it. Yes, you know it. And also, we're going to also give some updates on this particular gentleman that see, Mr. Luigi. Okay, and all of the gentlemen that I've just mentioned. Yes, you cannot believe it. They all have something in common, and his name is Diddy. Yes. Everybody has something in common with Diddy, and I cannot make this up. Yes, you guys will find out. The CEO suspect, as well as Jamie Foxx, yes, as well as Jay-Z, Will Smith, they all have something in common, and that is with Diddy. We're going to talk about it. Hello, inner beauty blessings. And yes, I'm going to break this up into parts today. My apologies for coming in so late. And like I stated, today we're going to talk about updates. And hello, Joshua. Thank you for coming in. Inner Beauty Blessings says, good morning. Good morning, Inner Beauty Blessings. And Joshua says, hi, Politic. Hi. And he also says, hi, Inner Beauty Blessings. Yes, good morning. Good morning. And yes, you guys, I may break this up into parts. Yes, you heard right. The CEO suspect. And I want to make sure we're all on the same page. The CEO suspect, as well as Diddy, Jamie Foxx, Will Smith, all have something in common, and that is with who I just mentioned, Diddy. Yes, I cannot make this up. Yes, I cannot make this up, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you guys for coming in. We're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I found out that somehow, they're going to try to find a way to put Diddy in the mix with the CEO suspect, this gentleman right here. I cannot make this up. This gentleman right here. Yes, you heard right. This gentleman that you're looking at is connected with Diddy. Okay? I'm not being funny. This is serious, okay? And before we start, because to correct, yes. And hello, Melinda. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. And before we start, because this is going to be very heavy, and I want to try to cover myself, okay? And thank you guys for coming in. Okay, I want to make sure we're on the same page. Today I'm gonna break this up into parts. Okay, so we're gonna talk about updates on Diddy versus Jay-Z versus Jamie Foxx versus Will Smith and versus Luigi. Okay, Luigi, the CEO suspect. They all have something in common with this person right here. Yes, they are connected, and we're gonna break it all the way down, okay, in this video. Also, we're going to give updates on the CEO suspect, okay, Luigi, that I just showed you guys, okay? And as well as we're going to talk about Joe Biden getting rid of all the federal funds before Trump enters the office. Yes, you heard right. He's trying to get rid of billions and billions of dollars before January the 20th of next year. He has to empty it out, okay? Why? Because those funds have already been approved by Congress, okay? So he has to get rid of these funds ASAP. And last but not least, today's motivation is never look back and question your past. Let the past be and live in the present and moment. Now let's begin. Let's begin, ladies and gentlemen. Now, fair use, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for guys for coming in. I have to read this because we are getting very heavy, and I'm not trying to get in any lawsuits because, as you can see the thumbnail, yes, all the men that I just showed you, Jamie Foxx, Will Smith, as well as this gentleman that was recently arrested that some people are considering a hero, Luigi. Everybody is so-called allegedly connected with Diddy. Yes, yes, you heard right. And thank you guys for coming in. Joshua says, you're welcome. Joshua says, thumbs up. Belinda says, please smash that button with love and care for all of us and subscribe to each other. Yes, thank you, thank you. Please double tap. And if you're a mod, please handle business because we're going to get into some serious talk today. And before we talk about Trump and Joe Biden, okay, I just want to give a heads up, right? I'm noticing this, but we'll talk about it in a minute. You know, I'm gonna be a person of my word and start off on Diddy. Yes, I want to start off on Diddy today. And as you guys know, or should know, if you don't know, last live we talked about all these accusers popping up out the woodworks. Okay, last week there were not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 different accusers and 2 lawsuits in the matter of 4 days against not only Diddy, this gentleman right here, right? Not only Diddy, but they also came for, unfortunately, I don't know how he got in the midst of this, but they also came for this gentleman, and you guys know who I'm going to show. This gentleman right here by the name of Sean Carter. This gentleman right here, okay? I don't know how in the heck. I don't know how in the world they have put this man, okay, in the midst of this gentleman. But this is why I say, ladies and gentlemen, you have to be careful who you associate yourself with, because you will catch a suit real fast. But we discussed about all that. Now, update, right? Because last live we had a Diddy live. We talked about the accuser. She's now a 38-year-old woman. Okay, and she sued, okay, she did a refiling of a lawsuit, okay, lawsuit against Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, as well as Diddy, right? And in this lawsuit, she discussed, we're just going to just give a brief little breakdown, and thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. We got to talk about it. Oh yes, we're talking about it. Because at this particular point, and I don't want to put anybody down who have disabilities. We support and welcome everybody, but this particular lady right here, come to find out, she said that she suffers from autism, and there's no disrespect. We no nothing against people who have disabilities, right? But this is all coming up, right? This is all coming up as of last week. Why? Because this person right here, and what you're seeing right here, they just showed her shadow. She's still in the hiding. And thank you guys. Please hit that like button. Vic says facts and add evidence. That's all that counts. Exactly. Thank you so much, Vic. I completely agree. You have to add evidence. And that is why this particular gentleman, okay, Jay-Z, and thank you guys for coming in. This particular gentleman, he is now planning on suing, okay? And I repeat, suing the actual attorney that's representing this lady right here, okay? And according to her, we're just going to do a brief breakdown, okay? She accused in a lawsuit 2 weeks ago of Jay-Z, this gentleman right here that we're talking about. She accused Jay-Z as well as Diddy of graping her, okay? Shamelessly, quote unquote, graping her. Now, according to her, and we're talking about this lady, okay, she is still in hiding. She said that Jay-Z as well as Diddy, okay, they raped her when she was the age of 13 years old in 2000 during the same, and this is the same time. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. This is the same time that Diddy was dating Jennifer Lopez. Okay, so how in the world is she allegedly going to be raped by Diddy when Diddy was at the VMA Awards in the year of 2000 with Miss Jennifer Lopez? That is one thing, right? But they didn't want to mention that. I want to make sure we're on the same page. Now, with this lady right here, she's also stated anonymously. Okay, she still hasn't identified who she is. She stated that she was actually she was dropped off by a friend. We got to put that she was dropped off by a friend, okay, to the point where she was left and she was going down the street talking to different limousine drivers and trying to see who could get her into the quote unquote VMA award show back in 2000. And mind you, we got to make sure you guys understand this. She was at the age of 13 and she actually was quote unquote going down the street trying to see who could let her in, who had tickets, okay? Hello, Art of War. Thank you so much for coming in. Art of War says, good morning, news lady. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. You too, Art of War. And the lady that we're talking about is this lady right here. According to her, and I just want to be very, very, very front, she stated, and I quote, that she got out of a car and she started walking and talking to different people, trying to see who could let her in to the VMAs as well as the after party. And that is when she crossed paths with one of Diddy's limousine drivers. Okay, that is what she's saying. I repeat, that is what she is saying. And she stated that when she came across a specific limousine driver, okay, that she approached, right, that is when she met an unnamed driver that works for Diddy. And she approached various limousine drivers trying to gain access to the VMA show as well as the after party, right? And that is when she said a specific driver, limousine driver, told her, and I quote, mind you, she's 13 now. She said, this is when the limousine driver told her, you fit what Diddy is looking for. That is what she's saying now. That is what she's saying. And she alleged that this limousine driver invited her to a party after the show and told her to return back to his car later that evening. And in that evening, that is when he transported her, okay, to meet Jay-Z as well as Diddy. Now, in regards to this, she wants to throw somebody else under the bus, okay? She wants to throw somebody else under the bus. I don't know. It's like more and more people are coming in the wind, right? Because according to her, she stated, and I quote, while she was at this quote unquote after party, the driver took her to, it was at a quote unquote white house. She said she met this person. I got to show it. She met one of the Madden's brothers, okay? If you guys don't know who the Madden's brothers are, they are in a group together. You have Benji Madden, and yes, they are identical twins. She said she met Benji in regards to talking about his tattoo, okay? She throw him out there in the wind, okay? And hello, Junkyard. Thank you for coming in. Junkyard says, I think there's more than meets the eye with this case. Tony Buzbee let her go on this interview. I think he has a trick up his sleeve, and I will wait to see what the evidence comes out on this one. Yes, I mean, and thank you. And I have to pin that. I have to pin it because what people don't understand. And hello, Junkyard. Thank you for coming in. Top 20. Shout out to Top 20. Top 20 says Jay-Z and Beyonce house is in Malibu. They purchased from Comcast CEO. Comcast owns NBC. Whoa. They playing, y'all. That woman is not a Buzbee client. Whoa. Top 20. Thank you for coming in. You're giving something new for us. Now back to what I was stating with this particular lady that we're speaking of, and I want to wait till a little bit more time goes by to actually play the actual video of this accuser that is accusing not only Diddy himself, but she's also accusing, yes, Jay-Z. Okay, and I think the attorney, okay, that is representing her, I think he has dropped the ball big time, because Jay-Z is now moving forward with a lawsuit. Yes, and the attorney that is representing her is this gentleman right here. And this is kind of sad now, you guys, because with him, as you can see, he has a phone number. This is an actual press conference that he held back in October of this year. He held a press conference, and you can see the phone number, right? He gave a phone number out, like stating that if you were a victim to Diddy, please call my office. Okay, and you are not alone. And as of now, he is representing over 122 clients. Yes, this gentleman is representing 122 clients. And how does this all apply right now? Because somehow, somewhere, now Tony Buzbee is putting, I gotta show this gentleman. Now he is putting this gentleman in the mix. Yes, Jay-Z in the mix. And as I stated the last live, okay, we're doing a brief review. Okay, as I stated the last live, Jay-Z made sure he stated that because of the actions of this attorney right here, Tony Buzbee, he said, you have put my family in jeopardy, and now you are about to seek a lawsuit. Now you're playing with me. You're really playing with me. And Jay-Z even stated that, yes, he confirmed that, yes, I did put a lawsuit. I did do a lawsuit, okay, anonymously. He did admit that against Tony Buzbee for the actions that Tony Buzbee has been allegedly, according to Jay-Z, he said that Tony Buzbee has been trying to extort him for money. This gentleman right here. And according to Jay-Z, he's stating that Tony Buzbee has been going around trying to get money out of celebrities. And he said he is not finna go down for him stating that this lady right here, this is the accuser that is being represented by Tony Buzbee. He stated that I am not going to be in this game. Okay, you're not finna play with me. And I want to make sure people understand, when it comes down to Diddy, and hello, I lie, when it comes down to Diddy did state in his first statement, yes, he did 2 statements. This is how you know people are not playing. And I want people to understand this. Jay-Z, as of now, he is the only one that has took a stand. Okay, and when I say he has taken a stand, Jay-Z is not playing. He has an attorney. He has released not 1, not 2, but 3 statements. Okay, 2 of the statements come from directly from him, and the last statement comes from his personal attorney. Okay, and with the first statement, upon the initial refiling of this lawsuit against Jay-Z and Diddy, Jay-Z did release a statement last week. We're just giving a review, and thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. Okay, and according to the first statement that Jay-Z did, he stated, and I quote, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt." That was the first part of his statement, you guys. You guys have to understand. He said, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Buzbee, What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations, and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. This is what Jay-Z is saying, you guys. This was the first initial statement that he put out last week. And Jay-Z said, "No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So, no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case." And I'm going to continue. This is all in the first statement from Jay-Z, aka Sean Carter. Also, he stated, "This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these typical theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human being, Mr. Buzbee, but I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at a young age." Now that was some of this long statement, you guys, that Jay-Z spoke about in regards to his family has been affected by these allegations, okay? And the allegations that we're talking about is this lawsuit that was refiled last week, okay? We have to understand this. And I, like I stated, I'm going to stand on this, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you guys for coming in. Jay-Z, and I'm being so honest when I say this, Jay-Z is the only one that has sued, okay? And he is speaking up. And I congratulate Jay-Z for actually speaking up on this, because guess what? Moving forward, now what has happened? What has happened? Okay? Now this lady, the accuser herself, and thank you guys for coming in. She's now a 38-year-old woman from Alabama. Okay, she accused Sean Carter, that is Jay-Z's government name, as well as Diddy, of raping her when she was 13 years old, more than 2 decades ago, specifically 24 years ago. And she admitted to several inconsistencies in her lawsuit. And hello, fabulous me. Thank you so much for coming in. And thank you, you guys. Can you please hit that like button? And yes, we're having a great conversation about, yes, Diddy, as well as Jay-Z, as well as the CEO suspect, Luigi. They all are bound and tied to allegedly the person that we're speaking of right now. And that is Mr. Sean Combs, aka Diddy. Now, going forward, right, with this particular lady, okay, she still has not identified who she is. She did state, and I quote, that she alleges over 24 years ago that she admitted to several inconsistencies in her lawsuit, right? Okay, and just days after her lawyer amended the initial lawsuit, okay, where she added Jay-Z as well as Diddy, okay, there became inconsistencies. Like I stated, there became so many inconsistencies. Now, she was interviewed by NBC News, and there was a lot of inconsistencies. And what was her response? You cannot make this up, ladies and gentlemen. Her response, after causing Mr. Carter, okay, Mr. Jay-Z and his family all of this chaos in the midst of Diddy being in a quote unquote, he just has a lot going on, Diddy himself, okay? Diddy, this person right here we're talking about, Diddy has so many lawsuits right now. We're going to just focus on the other men. Yes, I said it, the other men that are being put into this mess. Okay? And Jay-Z, like I stated, he's the only one that is quote unquote taking a stand and speaking up. Now with this lady, because I guess they realized Jay-Z is not playing. Okay, her response when NBC News reached back out to her and asked her in regards to the inconsistencies, she said, honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me, and route that I took to what happened to me. Not all of the faces there are as clear. Now this is what she's saying. Okay, and thank you guys for coming in. Dia says they are saying her info is inconsistent. There is such a play of destruction of black celebs now. And see, this is why I'm so glad that you came in, Dia, for mentioning that. And Linda says, just the facts, ma'am. And you're absolutely right, because I don't like how this makes, I think people need to stick to the facts. And when it comes down to these facts, right, I think Tony Buzbee, the attorney that's representing this accuser, I think he dropped the ball. Why? Because when you are representing this attorney that we're talking about, I think he dropped the ball with this particular accuser, because now they're coming with a lot of inconsistencies. Now let's speak on the inconsistencies, and thank you guys for coming in. Okay, now the first inconsistencies, we're going to be honest, the celebrity twin musicians, okay, the Madden brothers, as you can see right here. Okay, and as you can see, yes, as you can see who this is in the middle, Lionel Richie. Yes, one of the Maddens are married to Nicole Richie. Okay, now this accuser tried to say that one of the Madden brothers, they were actually at this so-called after party that Diddy held at a alleged White House, okay, in New York. However, that was the first inconsistency, because, okay, that was the first inconsistency. Why? We're going to be honest. Why was it inconsistent? Because according to the Maddens, they were at a concert in a whole different state, a whole different location altogether, right? I want people to understand this, because according to her, she said she spoke to one of the Madden's brothers, Benji, and complimented him on his tattoo. But according to him, and a representative, I want to highlight this, and thank you guys for coming in. I want to highlight this. The representative said, and I quote, confirmed that they did not even attend the 2000 VMAs, let alone they were on tour in the Midwest. They were not even nowhere near the East Coast. They weren't even near the East Coast. So who was this lady talking to back in the year of 2000 when she was 13 years old? Because now we're talking about, now you have not one, but three people that are stating, and I quote, what she's saying is not true. Why? Because the first person that took a stand was Jay-Z. Sean Carter, right? And then the next person, or should I say the twins, Benji Madden, as well as his brother, they're saying, according to their representative, they were on tour in the Midwest. They didn't even go to the 2000 VMA, let alone be in New York. This is what they're saying. And thank you guys for coming in. Now, when it comes down to some more inconsistencies, the accuser, this lady right here that we're speaking of, she said that she suffered from some head injuries, right? Now, this is the kicker right here. According to her, she stated, and I want to make sure we're on the same page. She stated after she had a head injury, right? Now she stated that she's putting her father in this. She said her father actually came to pick her up, okay, after this incident happened between Jay-Z as well as Diddy. She said that after the incident, she ran to a gas station, and that is when she called her father, who picked her up, drove in silence, and didn't ask her anything. Now, this is all what she's saying. And then she says that's when her father drove her home. Now, where do we fall with this? Here goes another inconsistency. Her own father. And thank you guys for coming in. Her own father says, I feel like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but I mean, that is something that would definitely stick in my mind. Now, this is what the accuser's own father is saying. Now, we've already talked about Jay-Z, right? Jay-Z has already stated, okay, he's working in the moves of suing. Okay, we've already reviewed the initial first statement that he put out, right? He put out so many statements, you guys, within the matter of days. This statement he put out, I think it was either on that Monday of last week or that Tuesday, right? This was the first statement. And to sum it all up, he basically told this attorney that is representing the accuser, this attorney right here, Tony Buzbee, you are an extortionist, okay, alleged extortionist, and you're not going to get one red penny from me, and because of you, I had to talk to my family. And the family right here, and I have their faces blocked out because I do not have the money to, I can't afford to be sued like Jay-Z is suing, yes, allegedly suing this guy, Tony Buzbee, okay? Now, that was the first initial statement from Jay-Z in response to being put in this Diddy mess, right? Being put in this Diddy mess. Now, the next inconsistency. We've already talked about she was inconsistent with the locations of Jay-Z as well as Benji Madden, right? Because according to the Madden twins, Benji Madden as well as his brother, according to them, the representative did say, and I quote, they did not even attend the 2000 VMA and that they were on tour in Midwest at the same time. So we've already put out there, okay, now Benji, the Madden twins, they're out, right? Jay-Z said, I'm out. Yes, HHH, there has been more news, HHH. Yes, there has been more news. And this lady right here, HHH, we cannot make this up. Come to find out, she's a 38-year-old woman from Alabama who suffers from autism. And because so much has happened, her friend, I forgot to mention her friend, because her friend was the one that initially dropped her off to this location where the VMA Awards was, in front of the VMAs, where there were a line of limousine cars. Okay. And her friend that they mentioned drove her 5 hours. I gotta make sure we mention this. Okay, she stated her friend drove her up from Rochester, New York, to Manhattan, okay, which is a 5 hour drive. Okay, now this particular friend we're talking about has now passed away. Another inconsistency. So now she doesn't even have this so-called witness to say, yes, I was the one that drove her. Yes, she doesn't have that witness. Why? Because that witness has, we're going to highlight it, that witness has since what? Passed away. Okay, now, so we talked about Jay-Z. Jay-Z starting a lawsuit. He's saying this is frivolous. Okay, then we talked about with the Madden twins. Okay, according to the accuser, she said she spoke to Benji Madden. That is out, because according to them, they were on tour. They were in the Midwest. They were not on the East Coast. Okay, so that's knocked out. Then to top it all off, now we have the friend who has passed away. Okay, now I want people to understand this, right? How does all this come into play? Because now this has put Tony Buzbee in a bad predicament. Why? Because Tony Buzbee is the same attorney that held a huge press conference back in October stating that he was planning on suing. Okay, he was representing over 122 clients. Okay, that are all talking about, they are accusers in regards to Diddy, right? So now this is not a good look for this attorney. Tony Buzbee is the gentleman that you're seeing, and I'm going to play an actual clip of Tony Buzbee. But now I'm wondering, is all what he had said back in October, is it of truth? Why? Because now, as you guys can see, it's not adding up. And I'm going to play a clip of Tony Buzbee when he held this press conference back in October. And this is just December. A lot of things have came. Now they have put Jay-Z in it, Sean Carter in this mess. But I'm going to play a clip of Tony Buzbee giving all of these so-called celebrities a warning, calling them allegedly facilitators pertaining to Diddy, right? And here's a clip of this attorney that I now feel might be in a bit of trouble.
We welcome the FBI or any authority who wants to come to us, and we're going to make that available to these victims, because I think that's important. My suspicion is, based on talking with these folks, is that the FBI is just not aware of these people. The FBI has talked to some of these folks, and I'm going to try to encourage the victims to, in fact, talk to the FBI, because I think they have some very important things to say.
Now, I cannot believe, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming in. Mods, please don't do anything to this person that's in the chat. Okay, not yet. But we have the AKA Diddler in the chat. Oh my goodness. What is going on? What is going on? We have the Diddler in the chat, and they're saying all up. Oh my goodness. Let's just move forward. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. The Diddler, whoever... I cannot do it. I cannot do it. What is going on here? And thank you guys for coming in. Okay. And like I stated, this particular attorney, I think he's now in a bit of trouble. Okay. Because he is being allegedly is going to be sued now, because according to Sean Carter, it's now coming to show inconsistencies of this actual accuser. that he is representing. And this accuser is 38 years old. Okay? And now she's in Alabama. She suffers from autism. And I want to make sure that we speak on this. Why? Because who's to say, okay, who's to say who else, what other attorney might come out, right? What other attorney might come out with a celebrity that they're representing, like Sean Carter? Now, according to this lady, they asked her, people have asked her, NBC News asked her about the inconsistencies. And she said, I have made some mistakes. Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me. Now, I think it's about that time. We're at that mark. I think it's about that time. We're at that mark, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you guys for coming in. I think I can play a clip. I want to see if I can play the actual clip of this lady. I'm just going to play a little bit, and this is fair use, and I quote, fair use. And thank you guys for coming in. This is quote unquote fair use.
I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
Now I'm going to play that little part one more time. Why she's stating that she is suing Sean Carter as well as Diddy, aka Sean Combs. Okay, and I think they are allegedly supposed to be in the chat. Okay, but we're gonna play this actual clip on why she's stating she is filed lawsuit against these two gentlemen. Okay, and thank you guys for coming in. I'm just gonna play this little clip one more time, and this is quote unquote fair use. And thank you guys for coming in.
It's because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
Now, as you can hear how she sounds, right? She sounds a little scared. And thank you guys for coming in. MKU says, why they only get exposed when they sue or have a big percentage of take ownership of something. Whoa. Now, I want to make sure, I'm not saying all of the people that are suing Diddy are liars. I'm not going to say that or anything of that nature. We're just here to quote unquote state, what's going on, right? This is the news. We're just stating what's being put out there. And according to Tony Buzbee and his client that he's representing, that he still has unnamed and remained as Jane Joe. She's stating, and I quote, that she's very clear. She says, I've made some mistakes. And honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me. This is what she's saying. And the allegations that she's putting out there, she is alleging, I got to be very careful with my words, and thank you guys for coming in. She is alleging that Jay-Z as well as Diddy, they quote unquote fruit graped her at the age of 13 years old back in the year of 2000. This is what she's stating. And I want to make sure, she stated that she was dropped off to the VMAs by her friend, okay, at the Radio City Music Hall. And her friend, that is another inconsistency, like I stated, had dropped her off from Rochester, New York, okay, to Manhattan, where the Radio City Music Hall was located back in 2000. And that's a 5-hour drive. But this friend that we're speaking of, as you can see, I highlighted, has since passed away. And thank you guys for coming in. Now, what is Tony Buzbee's? Oh my goodness. What is Tony Buzbee's response? Because he is in some trouble. Tony Buzbee says, and this is her attorney. He says, because we have interrogated her intensify, she has even agreed to submit to a polygraph. This has been extremely distressing for her, to the point she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to the stress. Both Jay-Z and his attorney, now here they go. Jay-Z, his attorney, they release statements. You can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, thank you for coming in, Northern Dame. Dame says, hey, Politic, and hello. Thank you for coming in. And guys, please hit that like button. Yes, we're having a conversation about Diddy first. And if you saw the thumbnail, yes, allegedly, Jamie Foxx, Will Smith, as well as the CEO suspect, yes, they are all connected to Diddy. Yes, you heard me right. Even the CEO suspect, okay, is being allegedly connected, okay? And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about why. Sauce, thank you so much, Sauce. Sauce says, why would anybody take a polygraph when they're not admissible in court? Now, see, I don't know. And thank you for coming in, Sauce. I'm going to pin that because I'm not sure. And anybody that's out there, you tell me, are polygraph tests admissible in court? Because that is what Tony Buzbee is trying to state now. This attorney that is representing the accuser, right? He's stating, and I quote, that they have agreed to submit a polygraph test now to prove that everything that she said about Jay-Z as well as Diddy is true. Now, according to Jay-Z, here go Jay-Z again. Jay-Z has released a second statement. He's very upset. And this is the second statement he has put out. Okay? And he says, today's investigative report proves this attorney Buzbee, and who is he talking about? This gentleman right here. He says, this proves this attorney, Buzbee, filed a false complaint against me in the pursuit of money and fame. This incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. And as you guys, and see what he's stating right here, Tony Buzbee, this is why I showed you guys. This right here, he held a personal press conference where he had a huge billboard behind him, okay, with the phone number, right? And he stated in this press conference that he's I don't know if he's representing them now, but back in October, he had a total of 122 people that were claiming that they were so-called violated by Diddy, okay, allegedly. They're suing Diddy, okay? They were planning on suing Diddy through civil court. That is what he stated in his press conference back in October, right? That he was representing 122 people, and that according to him, that he was in the works of filing civil lawsuits. And in this press conference, he said, we employ the FBI to contact us, right? That is what he said, right? That is what he said back in October. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why Jay-Z said, and I quote, in his most recent statement, after NBC News, talked about inconsistencies, okay? Inconsistencies. And according to Jay-Z, after this recent set of inconsistencies, he put out another statement. He said, today's investigative report proves this attorney Buzbee filed a false complaint against me in the pursuit of money and fame. This incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory. This was over before it began. This 1-800 lawyer doesn't realize it yet, but soon. Now, notice what Jay-Z just called him. He called him a 1-800 lawyer. Why did he call him that? Because look what he had at his press conference. Look what he had at his press conference. 1-800. I'm not going to read that number. Look, I'm not going to read the rest now. But that's what he had in the press conference back in October, saying we want more people to come to us and tell us, what's been going on. Now, this is what he's stating. Now, how did it mess with him on the back end of all of this? Because now this accuser is showing some inconsistencies. And thank you guys for coming in. Shout out to Easy Peasy. Easy Peasy says, hi, Politic. Hello, Easy Peasy. Thank you for coming in. And T Will says, imagine fighting this hard for a guy who, women, find you something. And yes, T Will, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. And like I stated, we welcome everybody. Now, when it comes down to Jay-Z, how does this, Easy Peasy says, is Jay-Z innocent? Now, I'm glad you asked that, Easy Peasy, because a lot of people have been saying some things in regards to Jay-Z. And I think I know where you're going with this, Easy Peasy. A lot of people have been saying some things about this gentleman that we're talking about, Jay-Z, also known as Sean Carter. And I'm going to be honest, right? When it comes down to this particular matter that we're speaking of, I want to be very careful with my words because I do not want anybody from the Beehive, from Jay-Z. I don't want anybody coming for me, right? So we're speaking in regards to this particular case, in regards to this particular accuser that stated that she was quote unquote great at the age of 13 by Sean Carter and Diddy. Those are who we're talking about. John says Benji and Joe were in Chicago at the Vic Theater on September the 7th, 2000, the same night as VMA. And thank you, John Madden. I thank you for saying that because I want people to understand. I'm going to highlight that. I got to highlight it. This is why people are saying this lady, okay, who still wishes to remain a Jane Joe, she's showing inconsistencies. And as you guys see, I pinned it, right, that the twins that she spoke of, Benji Madden, as well as Joe Madden, they were not even in New York. They were not even in the West Coast. They were in the Midwest, okay? And this came from their own representative. And thank you, John. Thank you so much. I got to give you so much shout out. Easy Peasy says, for allowing him free all these years. Easy Peasy says, it is that someone was great and no one told anything during that time. If you know that he great someone and let it go for so many years, doesn't that make you guilty as well? Woo. Easy peasy. Woo. I felt it, Easy. Look, Easy, be easy. I felt it. You're making me hot. Woo. Now, that is why Sean Carter, okay, he put out that statement. He put out 2 statements because he was very upset, very furious with not her. Okay. Great. Yes. I said great, Northern. I did say great. Okay. The fruit, great. Okay. Yes. Great. I have to say that for YouTube guidelines, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for coming in. I have to say it for YouTube guidelines. Easy peasy laughing. Yes, I have to say it. And yes, I have to be careful. Now, when it comes down to this, and I'm glad Easy Peasy you put it out there, because when it comes down to Rock Nation, okay, and you know who owns that? Jay-Z. Jay-Z's first statement, he put out that first initial statement last week. Okay, his first initial statement, he called Tony Buzbee an extortionist. He said that all he does is just comes for money. And he actually said, you are not going to get one red penny out of me. Yes, Northern, what are you talking about? Easy Peasy was on it, Northern. Easy Peasy said, great. Oh, you're all right, Northern Dame. It's okay. Easy Peasy said, did you see the girl that admitted that she lied, that she was great by a team of NBA players? Now, I would say this, right? We're going to talk about, because I want to be very careful in this live, right? Because I want to take it, somewhat, I don't want people to think I'm trying to victim shame anybody. I don't. But we're going to talk about, how some people have admitted to not telling truths. I'll say it that way. Okay, Easy Peasy. We're going to do that. Look, we're going to do that in another live, okay? Because Easy Peasy, you're not playing no games today. But I'm not finna put Jay-Z and Beyonce in this and that together. I'm not gonna do it. Because I want to say this. I want to make sure we're on the same page when it comes down to Jay-Z. Jay-Z has a lot. And not even just Jay-Z. We have to understand the Beyonce, right? Beyonce, they have a lot to quote unquote lose. And this is why Jay-Z had to make sure he came out with not one statement, but two statements. And in addition, his attorney had to come out with a statement. And in addition, the NFL had to come out with a statement. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. And hello, Rebel. Thank you for coming in. Rebel says, I feel like people are getting paid off. Yes, I mean, I'm not going to say everybody. I want to be very careful with my words, because you do have people that have actually been victims, right? And anybody that knows Diddy, okay, Diddy is not a quote unquote saint, as they say, okay? He is not a saint. And this is why Jay-Z, aka Sean Carter, he wants it to be known, and he's not the only one that wants it to be known. Please do not put me in this mess, because if you come for me, you come for everything that I have worked for over the years, and now you're going to get sued. Okay? Now, he says that he doesn't want to be part of the Diddy mess, and like I stated earlier, ladies and gentlemen, Easy Peasy, I want to make sure that what you said about, like, if he did do something, why didn't they do something years back? Why wait, right? And this is why Jay-Z said, and I quote, this is why he said, these allegations are heinous, right? And he did say this, I implore you to file a criminal complaint. So Easy Peasy, he's basically saying what you just said in the live. Jay-Z said, and I quote, I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Right? He says, and I quote, whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? Okay? Would you not agree? And this is what Jay-Z is saying. And see, and that's one thing I can say, right? Because you ask, right, is Jay-Z innocent? And when it comes down to this particular matter that we're speaking of, it's looking kind of murky for the accuser when it comes down to Jay-Z. That's all I'm going to say. It's looking kind of murky, right? And Easy Peasy says, yeah, it's all about the money. Dodgy says, The good moral people of earth have been trying for years to tell you all these facts. You've all defended them and said we were crazy. Now, see, I never said that. And thank you for coming in. Northern says, yeah, they do seem, yes, out. Okay. And thank you so much for coming in. Please, you guys, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for coming in. JB says, easy. Just put them all on a lie detector test. I believe none of them. They are all crooked. Even if he knew and didn't say nothing about it, you are guilty. Now, I want to make sure, I'm trying to find where Easy Peasy said it, because I want to pin what Easy Peasy said, okay, because Easy Peasy was right on it. Right on the mark, okay? Right on the mark. I'm just going to pin allowing him free all these years. I'll just pin that part. And thank you guys for coming in, because when it comes down to what's going on with Jay-Z, he says he doesn't want any parts of this. And he released a second statement. He's calling Tony Buzbee a 1-800 lawyer after we have already discussed the inconsistencies. This particular lady right here, who still is a quote-unquote Jane Doe, all right? She had some inconsistencies, even with her friend who dropped her off, okay, in Manhattan, 5-hour drive. Her friend has passed away and cannot even testify, cannot even be in it. Why? Because she's no longer here. And even in addition to her friend, her own father said, I don't even remember what my daughter is saying about me picking her up at the gas station. I don't even remember any of this, right? So that's her father. Now let's talk about actual tangible evidence that you can see. The actual twins. When she mentioned the Madden's twins. Okay? According to what was said even in the chat, September the 7th, they were in Chicago. They weren't even in, I repeat, they weren't even in New York. They were in Chicago, allegedly September the 7th, okay? But according to their representative said they were Midwest. They were in the Midwest, right? The same night that this accuser is stating otherwise. And thank you guys for coming in. Northern Dame says, yeah, right. I'm trying not to laugh, you guys. But Easy Peasy and Northern Dame and Junkyard, you guys are going to get me laughing. I'm trying to be calm. Trying to be calm. And thank you guys for coming in, okay? And Poe says, guilty by association. Yes, I'm glad that you stated that. Rebel says, we all get facts wrong after a long period of time. Now, I will say this. I don't know if a polygraph is admissible in a court of law, because according to Tony Buzbee, after all of the inconsistencies, were discussed and asked, okay, Tony Buzbee, he released a statement saying that because we have interrogated her intensify, she has even agreed to submit a polygraph. This has been extremely distressing for her, to the point that she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to this stress. Now, notice what he said. Notice what he said. Not LeBron James. Oh, no. Now, notice what I'm reading the comments. Now, notice what Tony Buzbee said. He's trying to insinuate that now his client is needing medical treatment. Notice his words. Now he's trying to say this has affected her, okay, physically and mentally, even in the year of 2024, 24 years later. He's trying to put out there. Why is he doing this? Because Jay-Z Jay-Z has teamed up with his lawyer, and now they're going to allegedly, according to Mr. Jay-Z, Sean Carter said, I'm going to read his statement. He said at the end of his statement, this 1-800 lawyer doesn't realize it yet, but soon. Jay-Z is insinuating that he's planning on doing what? Filing a lawsuit. Okay? Now, how does the NFL come into this play? Because the NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell, okay, he responded. This is getting wild. This is getting extremely wild. He responded, okay, last Friday. He stated, okay, we got to be honest. He said, we're aware of the civil allegations and Jay-Z's really strong response to that. We know the litigation is happening now. From our standpoint, our relationship is not changing with them, including our preparations for the next Super Bowl. Now, this is all a business game, right? We have to understand that. When I say this is all a business game, I want to be very careful when I say that. This is all a business game because the NFL had to step in and say something. Because I'm going to be honest. The Super Bowl is a very, if you live in America and you know about the Super Bowl, that is a very extreme, important event. And the position that Mr. Sean Carter holds for the Super Bowl, where he makes the decisions, okay, who performs during halftime as far as artists go, right? He is in a business on a whole different business level, and he's been affiliated with the NFL for years now. So he cannot afford something such as these allegations to come out. Okay? And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. Now, we cannot forget Jay-Z's attorney. Alex Spiro. He came out with an actual statement as well. That's why I say they're coming in. They're coming in very, very hard. Okay? Like I said, I have not seen that one celebrity come like Jay-Z is. I haven't. I'm just going to be honest. I have not seen that one. Everybody is making jokes. Everybody is saying no Diddy, right? Including quote unquote Ray J. Everybody is trying to do interviews. Now, Ray J has not said no Diddy. Okay, Brandy's brother, he has not. But Meek Mill, okay, the rapper Meek Mill, he has said no Diddy. Right? Everybody's saying little things. But my thing is this. Why would you joke in regards to somebody you have done business with? Somebody that has put food in your mouth, okay? And in Meek Mill's case, the rapper Meek Mill's case, Diddy actually put clothes on his back. Now, moving forward, when it comes down to what Jay-Z's attorney said in his statement, he says, it is stunning that a lawyer would not only file such a serious complaint without proper vetting, but would make things worse by further peddling this false story in the press. We are asking the court to dismiss this frivolous case today and will take up the matter of additional discipline for Mr. Buzbee and all the lawyers that filed the complaint. Okay, so basically at this particular time, Jay-Z's attorney is now putting it out there. We're suing, okay? And see, this is why, you guys, I have to be very careful because I do not want any lawsuits coming this way, okay? We speak, okay? We speak report. We speak truth, right? All opinions, okay, are welcome, right? We welcome all opinions on this platform, but I want to make sure I say this, okay? I am not trying to get in any legalities with anybody by the name of Miss Knowles, Beyonce Knowles, or Sean Carter. Okay, I'm not. Because I don't have it. Now, when it comes down to, and thank you guys for coming in, comes down to this gentleman, I feel is he's the whole reason all this is going on. And that is this person I'm about to show you. This person right here, Diddy. He's the whole bulk of this, right? And now we're going to move forward with, yes, you cannot make this up. Jamie Foxx and Will Smith. They are going around making jokes, right? That is why I titled this part in regards to Jamie Foxx and Will Smith. Okay, hashtag they're making jokes. They're saying we have nothing to do with Diddy. Okay, please don't put us with Diddy. Please don't. Now, in regards to quote unquote Will Smith, and thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Also, I want to show some clips of Will Smith. And I have to talk about him because this particular gentleman that I'm going to show you guys, because now we're actually going to show some clips. Now we're going to show some serious clips today, because Will Smith is not getting off. He's not getting off easy. And the only reason I'm saying that is because he is going around trying to make this a joke, make it all a joke, right? And I don't know if you guys remember, I want to make sure I hit the clips right in regards to Courtney Burgess. Okay, he's a new top witness that the prosecutors in New York will be using to testify against Diddy May the 5th. Okay, and the gentleman that I'm talking about, I'm going to show a quick clip of Mr. Courtney Burgess. And thank you guys for coming in. I'm going to show a quick little clip of Mr. Burgess, who I'm talking about. This particular gentleman right here. And this is quote unquote fair use. Now, when it comes down to why am I mentioning Courtney Burgess in regards to Will Smith? Because according to allegedly Courtney Burgess, he mentioned that he does hold hard drives, USB drives, copies of things that Diddy did to some celebrities. Okay, I want to make sure I mention that. Okay, and one of the celebrities that he mentioned in a very popular interview. I got to be careful, because when he spoke in an interview recently of this year, this is what has caused him to get subpoenaed and caused him to be one of the top witnesses in the Diddy trial that will start May the 5th. And thank you guys for coming in. I'm going to play a clip of this gentleman that I'm speaking of. And this lady that you see right here beside him, he had to get a lawyer. And see, this is why I tell people you have to be careful what you say. You have to be careful what you say. Because of the actions of what Courtney Burgess has been doing, now he has to lawyer up. And I really believe, because of things that he said, this is why Will Smith had to step in recently. And we're going to show a clip of that as well. Why Will Smith had to step in and say, I have nothing to do with Diddy. Okay? I have nothing to do with Diddy. And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. And I'm going to play a clip of the gentleman that you see right here. And his name is Courtney Burgess. Okay. He is the one that has put, I'm going to be honest, he is the one that allegedly put Will Smith's name in this. Will Smith, I'm sorry, let me be careful. Will Smith son, one of his sons in this. Let me be very careful because I'm not trying to get in any legalities. And thank you guys for coming in. Thank you so much for coming in. And we're going to play a clip right now once I get to it.
Of surreptitious cameras that were recording in private places like the
I didn't see the cameras. You could tell how the person was angled. I knew that it was a camera there because I was there. You know, I wasn't there. I don't know if the person was too tall, he was holding it or whatever, but I wasn't there.
Now, this particular clip, Courtney Burgess is speaking of, yes, he has, I want to make sure we're on the same page, ladies and gentlemen, because I have time today for Will Smith and Jamie Foxx. Now, I'm not going to be so hard on Jamie Foxx, but yes, I have time today for, yes, Will Smith. Now, when it comes down to Mr. Courtney Burgess, and this is fair use, the gentleman that you're looking at right here, I don't know if you guys know who this is, but I'm going to let you know who he is. He is the gentleman that allegedly, he stated that he received copies of videos of, celebrities that were at these so-called parties of Diddy's. He says, and I quote, he actually has, quote unquote, copies of different celebrities. And I'm going to show you the pictures of these celebrities because I am not trying to get in any lawsuits. Now, according to Mr. Courtney Burgess, I want to make sure that you guys can see who I'm talking about. Okay? You guys can see who I'm talking about. These are just two of the celebrities that Courtney Burgess has spoke on, right? He spoke on this in a number of interviews. And he said that he has proof. He has proof. Okay? I'm not going to say the names. Okay? But these are the celebrities that he spoke about. Okay? That he mentioned are actually on videos. And he actually stated that he has not only videos, but he has pictures, of Diddy with these people, doing things. That's all I can say per se, because I'm trying not to get, sued. And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. And yes, you see who's here, standing by Diddy. And yes, Courtney Burgess, this gentleman right here, he stated that, I want to read it. And yes, this person right here, you see him too. I want to make sure we're on the same page, ladies and gentlemen. Now, with Courtney Burgess, he stated out of these alleged videos he saw from his 11 flash drives, he says he has 11 flash drives he found of celebrities that were recording having, quote unquote, doing things with Diddy. That's all I can say it on, guidelines. They were doing some Diddy things, And he alleged that the people that I just showed you guys, I'm going to go back and show you who he's talking about because I'm afraid to even mention their names, He alleges this person was in the video. He alleges that this person was in the video. He alleges. And I want to make sure people understand that according to him, he stated not only were these two in the video, and the reason I don't want to mention their names, because we have to understand it's questionable, were they of legal age? when they were in these videos. That's according to him, he has 11 flash drives. Okay. And according to him, he said he received these 11 flash drives from Kim Porter, who has passed away. Well, Kim Porter's friend. That's what he said. He received the 11 flash drives from Kim Porter's friend. And because he received those 11 flash drives, he wrote a book. And this particular book was taken from somebody by the name of Chris Todd. Okay. And because of that, Courtney Burgess, this gentleman right here that I showed you, okay, he is alleging that he has not received any profit from the book that he wrote. And the book that he wrote, it basically has pictures in the book, okay, in the book of this person right here. I don't want to say his name, okay, with Diddy. Okay, this person right here. I don't want to say the name. This person right here. Right? And with Courtney Burgess, I want to make sure not only did he mention them, he mentioned, I got to be honest, he mentioned Jennifer Lopez. He mentioned even on an interview on YouTube. Even on an interview on YouTube. He mentioned Kevin Hart. He mentioned Kevin Hart. He mentioned all of these quote unquote celebrities, okay, in the video. And that from his perspective, it appeared that the cameras looked as if they were at certain angles. That's what he's saying. Now, why am I speaking of this when it comes down to Mr. Will Smith? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And Carrie, thank you so much. Look, I'm trying. Now, when it comes down to why am I mentioning Mr. Courtney Burgess in regards to Will Smith? Okay. Because this is what Will Smith put out. I'm going to show a clip. Because I think Will Smith has gotten very upset with the allegations that have came out. And thank you guys for coming in. Please like the live, subscribe to the channel, and if you would like to contribute even more, you can, donate. Now, when it comes down to a clip of Will Smith, we got to play it. We have to play the clip. This is Will Smith, okay, and this is fair use, fair use. Ruckus says, oh, Will Smith. Now, this is a clip. Will Smith, now you guys know he has been known to have a temper, okay? Because of him having a temper, he actually has been banned from the Oscars because he put hands on someone, okay? That's all I'm going to say, another comedian. But it's really odd that Will Smith doesn't want to, and this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. It's really odd that Will Smith had all the smoke for Chris Rock, but he didn't have the smoke for people such as this gentleman right here, Mr. Courtney Burgess, who actually has, quote unquote, according to Courtney Burgess, he said he actually have film of one of Will Smith's sons on a quote unquote Diddy video. Now, it is really odd when people like Will Smith, and yes, I'm going to be honest, and I will say this, please, Jada Pinkett Smith, do not come for me. Please, Will Smith, do not come for me. If you want to come for somebody, please come for Courtney Burgess and his beautiful, smart, phenomenal attorney, Miss Averill. Please come for them. Because according to Courtney Burgess, he has said it on multiple platforms, okay? He has said it on multiple platforms that your son is in a Diddy video. But like I stated, ladies and gentlemen, these are the people, right? These are the people in my eyes. And when I say these people, I'm talking about Will Smith, okay? Meek Mills, anybody that does not, quote unquote, stand on it and sue, right? I'm talking about anybody like Jay-Z. If you see what Jay-Z did, we've talked about it this live. Jay-Z actually filed the law. He's been putting out statements. He has even filed the lawsuit. He filed the lawsuit last month anonymously, trying to hush Tony Buzbee up. And now, since it's even shown even more of inconsistencies by this accuser that's allegedly stating that Jay-Z was in a quote unquote, room with Diddy and her when she was 13 years old. Okay. Jay-Z is standing on business. Okay. Northern says they won't. Don't worry, Graham. Northern, at this point, and this is why I want people to understand, right? People like people like Will Smith, and I gotta be honest. Will Smith will not comfort people that he feels are bigger than him, that he feels really are about that life, like 50 Cent, okay, Curtis Jackson, right? Or people like, I'm just going to be honest, people like Jay-Z, right? Will Smith doesn't comfort people like that. No, he wants to comfort little people that are half his size, like Chris Rock, right? Or people that are shorter than him, like Diddy himself, who can't do anything and is literally shorter than him, and on top of that is locked up in jail right now. These are the people that Will Smith attacks. Okay, let me be careful. Not attack. Let me be careful. Not attack, right? But these are the people that he comes for. He doesn't come at the people that he needs to come for, right? Because remember what I stated. Why hasn't he filed the lawsuit on Courtney Burgess? Why hasn't he filed a lawsuit? Right? Because remember what I said with Courtney Burgess. Courtney Burgess said, and I quote, he said, I have 11 hard drives. And with one of those 11 hard drives, I have something of your son doing something. Which one is it? Because this came out of Courtney Burgess' mouth, not mine. But see, remember what I said, ladies and gentlemen. People like Will Smith, this is what they do. And I'm going to play a clip of what Will Smith does. This gentleman that we're speaking about, and thank you guys for coming in. Okay. Diddy cannot do anything. Diddy cannot do anything. And if you guys do not know who Diddy is, this particular person, Diddy cannot do anything, right? But instead of you going for the people that you need to come for, the ones that said that they have video footage allegedly of one of your sons, you want to come for somebody such as Diddy, who is locked up, who can't do anything. And if he does do anything, what can he do? But this is the clip of Will Smith recently.
Whatever y'all hear, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil.
Now, I'm going to play that one more time. Wait a minute. Why did he have to say anything about baby oil? What was that about? He said, I don't even like baby oil. What was that about? I'm going to play it. I'm going to just play that one more time. One more time. And thank you guys for coming in.
Whatever y'all hear, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil.
Now, that was a clip of a recent, very recent, over the weekend recent of what Will Smith had to say when it came down to addressing accusations, putting his name with this person named Diddy. Okay. Now I'm going to read all what Will Smith said, because he was cursing, and I'm not trying to lose my page. He really said he was so upset. But see, like I stated, these are the people you need to come for, the ones who actually have a lawyer, who say they have 11 hard drives, who wrote a book about it, who even mentioned, okay, saying that one of your sons were actually in the video. These are the people you need to come for, because at the end of the day, Diddy hasn't said nothing. Diddy can't say nothing. Not that you will. Not that I know of. I don't know. I don't know what Diddy doing in jail, because allegedly he been talking to everybody since he been in jail. Okay, but hey, now according to Will Smith, I'm going to read what he stated at a recent concert, because he's been touring, right? And he wants to get on his urban side, since he's been banned from the Oscar for almost 10 years, I think. Right? So now he wants to go back, urban. Now, according to him, this is what he said. The world we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to discern what's real and what's true. I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. I see the memes. Some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. I haven't addressed any of this publicly. I just want to say this very clear. I don't have to do with Puffy. So you all can stop all them memes. Stop all of that bull. I ain't been nowhere near no F off. Okay? Listen. I do enough of my own S. Don't be putting me in other people's. I ain't been nowhere near that man. Ain't did none of that. Okay, so this is the energy. This is the energy that Will Smith coming. And he further continues to say, so whatever y'all hear, that if somebody say that is a lie, I don't even like baby oil. I usually don't respond to stuff. Your memes was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad. And it's really funny. It's so funny, you guys. Okay? Will Smith is saying, y'all making me mad. Why are we making you mad, Will? Look, I'm going to say it one more time. And if you guys don't believe me, of the book that Courtney Burgess, okay, he had wrote, okay, and Northern Dame says, it hasn't been that long, 10 years. Easy Peasy says, Will Smith. Will Smith. And see, this is what I want people to understand. Will comes for people that he feels are inferior to him. He comes for people that he feels that he can overpower, right? That's what he feels. But like I stated, and I'm standing on it. Why don't you come for Courtney? Why don't you come for Courtney Burgess? You know why he won't come for Courtney Burgess? Because Courtney Burgess has a lawyer. Courtney Burgess, he has video footage. And Will Smith don't know what Courtney Burgess has on those videos. Right? So, in Will's case, he's not going to do nothing but laugh at who? Diddy. And joke about who? Diddy. He's not going to joke about Courtney Burgess. He's not. He's not going to joke about him. Because he doesn't know what Courtney has. Right? He doesn't. And the person that I'm talking about as far as the book goes that Courtney Burgess alleged has, and this is why he has a lawyer right now. He's teamed up with his lawyer. And according to him and his lawyer, they are planning on releasing the book, okay, where they can legally be covered. And it is this book right here. Now, I'm not sure if he's going to change the name per se, But this was the original covering of the book that he has. And if you guys don't believe me, and like I said, he has been doing interviews. He even opened up the book and showed some celebrities, okay, sitting by Diddy. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it at that. I don't want to get into specifics. But this is the book that Courtney Burgess wrote, and this is his actual his name that he uses when he actually write books, and the name of Jamal Millwood. Okay, and this book is called Tell It All, Kim Porter. Now, because of this particular book, and thank you guys for coming in, because of this particular book, now Courtney Burgess is in a lot of heat, as they say. A lot of heat. And like I stated, he did say the reason he was able to even write the book is because he alleges he received 11 flash drives, okay, from a friend of Kim Porter's, okay? And because of this, now Diddy's children are suing him. Yes, you heard right. Diddy's children are suing him. And who are the two that's suing him? Yes, one. I'm going to say one. And that is, quote unquote, where's two of them? Quincy Combs, who is Al B. Sure's, okay, biological child, as well as Christian Combs. Now, why am I mentioning them? Is because allegedly this gentleman right here, Al B. Sure, is even in the book. And Al B. Sure is Quincy Combs' biological father. And even with Al B. Sure, he even put out a cease and desist against Courtney Burgess and the book. Okay, because like I said, it's a lot of things in this book. Remember what I said, it's a lot of things in this book. Sa says he doesn't like baby oil, but he loves the... Oh, I cannot repeat that. Now, wait. Oh, I cannot repeat. Sa, thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. And the gentleman we're talking about is Will Smith. Okay? And that's why I said Will Smith, he has all the jokes. Okay? He has all of these quote unquote jokes about Diddy. But why not come for the big shark? Courtney Burgess. Courtney Burgess is the one that said, I have video footage of one of your sons in the video. And I wanted to actually show, and these are the sons that's suing. Okay, they put out a cease and desist letter against Courtney Burgess, that is Christian Combs, as well as Quincy Combs. They have said that they are the owners to this book. Okay, but in addition, in the same breath, they're saying that this is false, right? And that is why Courtney Burgess' attorney saying you can't have it both ways. You can't say that what my client Courtney Burgess is saying is false and frivolous, but then in the same token say that, quote unquote, we are ownership to that. You can't have it both ways, because if it's false, then what do you own? So the people that I'm talking about, Christian Combs, Quincy Combs, they are suing the person that wrote, okay, the book that I'm speaking of, this book right here. I want to make sure we're on the same page. And thank you guys for coming in. The book that I'm speaking of is this book right here called Tell It All. They are trying to sue the actual writer. And I know you guys are like, why does she keep bringing? And hello, John. Shout out to John. Thank you for coming in. Casper says, Quincy on the left. Now, when I want to make sure we're on the same page, when it comes down to this Diddy mess, right? This Diddy mess is putting everybody in a boil. But remember what I said to you guys earlier in this live. Remember what I said. Will Smith has all the smoke. He has all the smokes for people he feel is inferior to him, who's smaller than him, or in Diddy's case, who can't do anything because he's locked up. So I want to play this clip one more time, and thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button.
If somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil.
Now, with this madness that he was laughing about, I don't think this is not nothing to play with, because like I stated, I do believe you do have quote unquote, victims, right? I do believe that. However, I don't believe in the person that we spoke about today, this lady who alleged that not only Diddy fruit graped her, but quote unquote Jay-Z fruit graped her. I don't believe that. Okay? Because of the inconsistencies that we spoke about. Right? Because of the inconsistencies we spoke about. And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. Now, when it comes down to the next person, yes, we're going to talk about the next person. We got to. Is Mr. Jamie Foxx. Yes, we're going to talk about what Jamie Foxx, people have put Jamie Foxx in this madness. Okay? In this madness. Now, Jamie Foxx, for those who don't know, okay, he has done a Netflix special that was released recently, okay, specifically 6 days ago, December the 10th, okay, at 3 a.m. He did release a Netflix special that he had not said anything about what happened to him in Atlanta, Georgia, while he was filming a movie with Charlize Theron. Yes, Charlize Theron. Okay, and for those who don't know, Charlize Theron, okay, and this is just coincidental, Charlize Theron, she is married to allegedly one of the Madden's twins, okay, who that accuser put into her lawsuit, okay, stating that okay, they were actually at this quote unquote after party. But back to Jay-Z. No, back to Jamie Foxx. Now, with Jamie Foxx, yes, easy peasy. We're saying fruit great. Fruit great. Eat your fruit grapes. But when it comes down to Mr. Jamie Foxx, he is currently in a Netflix special, and it is called quote unquote What Had Happened Was. Okay, what had happened was, I want to make sure I highlight it. And in his Netflix special that was released December the 10th, okay, he actually filmed it in Atlanta, Georgia, where he talked about what happened to him in April of last year when he was filming a movie with Charlize Theron, okay, and what happened with him. And I remember weeks back before December the 10th, people in the comments were asking me to talk about it, but I knew what Jamie Foxx was going to speak on because ironically, I live in Georgia. Ironically, I am in, Atlanta. Okay, I'm in the real Atlanta. Okay, I'm not in the suburbs like some people. Okay, Tyler Perry. But when it comes down to Mr. Jamie Foxx, okay, during his Netflix special, and he throwed it out there that he has nothing to do with Diddy. Okay, he stated something in the regards of he left at 9 p.m. every time. Okay, he did not stay past 9 p.m. because that's when he felt it would get slippery. Okay, that's what he said. That's what Jamie Foxx said. Okay, and I want to make sure we're on the same page. He said, and I quote, it would get slippery. That's why he didn't stay past 9 p.m. when he attended Diddy events. Okay, that's what he said. Now, remember when he filmed the movie back in April of 2023? Let's talk about it. Okay, when he filmed this movie here in Atlanta, that is when he suffered. Now it's come up. He speaks on it in his show or Netflix special called What Had Happened Was. What Had Happened Was. That's the name of his Netflix special. Okay. What Had Happened Was. And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Now, he mentioned how he remembers him saying that he had a bad headache and how he had asked one of his friends, could they hand him, I think it was Tylenol or aspirin. And he said the next thing he knows, he said that's the only thing he can remember, him reaching for it, and he ends up dropping on hitting the floor. And he said it was at that point he didn't even wake up until May the 4th. I want to make sure I put that back in May. Yes, May the 4th. That's when he woke up. Okay? And he says, till this day, yes, ladies and gentlemen, till this day, Jamie Foxx states, and I quote, I do not remember 20 days after waking up. He says he doesn't know anything what happened 20 days. And he said it was the strength of God and family. Okay? God and family. Now, I will say this. Remember what I said in this Netflix special. He did mention, okay, he denied dealings with whom again? Diddy. And he made jokes. He made jokes about Diddy, saying that he left before it got past 9. At 9 p.m. he would leave because that's when things would get allegedly slippery. Okay, now I'm going to play a clip of a part of Jamie Foxx special, and thank you guys for coming in. I'm going to play a part because I'm going to say this. Jamie Foxx has been through a lot, and I think at this particular point, I don't think Jamie Foxx needs to hang around anybody that is on any Diddy vibrations. I'll say it that way, right? We'll talk about it. You don't need to hang around any Diddy vibrations when it comes down to people who comes with Diddy ways. I'll say it that way. Because anybody who knew who Diddy was before he was, locked up, Diddy had anger problems. Diddy had very much anger problems, okay? But before we get into that, I'm going to play a clip of Jamie Foxx mentioning when his sister was told that what happened with him back in April of last year when he passed out, right? Passed out. I'm going to play a clip. And this is fair use. And thank you guys for hitting that like button. Please hit that like button. Thank you, Angel, for coming back in.
He told my sister some horrible news about her big brother. He said he's having a brain bleed that's led to a stroke.
Now, I want people to understand this. With Jamie, I feel Jamie is 57 years old. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday, Mr. Jamie Foxx. Right? Because Jamie Foxx actually celebrated his birthday this past Friday. We're going to talk about that, what happened to him, even at his own birthday party, ladies and gentlemen, in California, in Beverly Hills. But I think with Jamie Foxx has been through a lot. And with this Netflix special, he had to alleviate a lot of things, including being, framed or people saying things about him connected with Diddy, and his way of dealing with anger is putting it out there on a comic level, right? This is how comedians do. And with Jamie Foxx, Northern Dame, I'm trying to be serious, and you are what? Northern Dame in the comments says, and I quote, "Wow, he looks good, 57." Yes, that's what happens when you know what, I'm going to be respectful, but yes, that is what 57 looks like, ladies and gentlemen. 57 looking good. And like I stated, he did have a stroke. In his Netflix special, he speaks about how he was at a hospital here in Atlanta, Georgia, by the name of Piedmont Hospital. And he had been there, and that's when his sister was informed that he had a brain, his brain was bleeding, and it ended up causing him to have a stroke. Okay? Have a stroke. And Joe Baby says he did enough. He don't need help. People just want to. Now, thank you for coming in. Northern Dame says that's what Will was doing, comedy. I would say this. And thank you guys for coming in. Angel says, what's up with the drone sightings? Woo! Now, I would say this. The drone sightings, they have been coming all over the U.S. of America. We'll talk about that. Not this live, though. We'll talk about it, okay? The drones. Yes, the drones. That's a whole nother story. Okay, maybe. But I'm going to look. I was about to say the wrong thing. I'm not going to do it. I was going to talk about politics side. But when it comes down to Jamie Foxx did suffer a stroke, and he mentioned how he had to have God on his side. But this particular Netflix special, I employ people to watch the Netflix special. It kind of hit a moment for me personally, because I will say it this way, because I'm going to talk about it even more if you're in my membership. I'll get into more detail with it. With what Jamie Foxx went through. And I'm going to play a clip for you guys. And thank you guys for coming in. I'm going to play a clip for what Jamie said in the Netflix special that really kind of hit home for me on a personal level. And thank you guys for coming in. This quote unquote fair use. I repeat, quote unquote fair use.
He told my sister some horrible news about her big brother. He said he's having a brain bleed that's led to a stroke.
Now, I want people to understand when I saw some of this special, he explained how he was asleep. He couldn't wake up. And his younger daughter, who's very talented, she's also in the Netflix special. She plays a number of instruments. And he actually stated how, had it not been for his younger daughter, who would be at the hospital every day, had it not been for her, he would have not gotten better and came out of a quote unquote, induced coma, because he stated how his daughter would play the guitar every day. Okay, play the guitar for him to come back and get better. And according to him, he was told that he would get better and better when he hear her play the guitar. And I want people to understand this, right? Because in this special, he even has his daughters. He has 2 daughters. One daughter has just got married. Shout out to her. And he has a younger daughter. Okay, she's still a teenager. She plays multiple instruments. She plays piano, guitar, drums. She's very talented. But I want people to understand, when it comes down to, checking on yourself, right? Because Jamie Foxx is prime example. You can have all the money in the world, right? But if you don't take care of your health, what good are you on this earth? Your health is wealth. It comes before anything. Because remember what I said, Jamie was here in Atlanta last year with Charlize Theron, April. He was working on a movie that he was also producing. And in addition to that, not only was he working on that movie, he was working on a number of shows that he's also executive producer to. So he never really, quote unquote, had a break, right? And look where we are today. He's 57 years old, and he's able to say, this is what happened to me last year. And I want to make sure I also state that when it comes down to Mr. Jamie Foxx, that he wants to try to make light of Diddy, right? By basically saying that I had my own problems, my own issues going on, and I'm not in that Diddy mess, okay? I am not in that Diddy mess. Okay, these are the things that he stated, and he played it smart, right? He played it smart because he denied the Diddy allegations in his Netflix special of him doing a comedy act that he said this was his first time doing in 18 years. 18 years, and thank you guys for coming in. And Passport says, health is wealth. Yes. Northern says, girl, holla. That is so true. Yes. Health is wealth. Right? Health is wealth. And it took me a lot not to get emotional about this. I'll talk about it in my membership plan because it was a lot going on when he spoke about this, when his sister was notified about what happened to him. I'll just say this much. I ain't going to get too much into it. I would say this much. I was in a situation where not only did I have a father that had suffered a stroke, but I also had another relative that I was dealing with that had a heart attack. And I had to personally deal with them at the same time. And in regards to Jamie Foxx's case, right? In regards to Jamie Foxx's case, I hope he takes heed of his blessings, right? Because remember what I stated in his Netflix special, he did state, and I quote, my daughter was there every day playing the guitar. And also, I don't even remember what was going on with me for 20 days. Okay? Passport says, "You're too happy to tear down successful Black people." No, I'm not tearing anybody down. I'm just, like I said, when it comes down to people, like I want to make sure, the reason I put Jamie Foxx in this, right? Because he's proven example. Health is wealth, and you have to take care of yourself. And not only, I want people to understand this, when whatever you're going through, he did show this, right? You have to keep moving forward. Hello, Glenda. Thank you so much for coming in, Glenda. You have to keep on moving forward. And the way Jamie Foxx is moving forward is, for one, he's addressing this, the Diddy mess. He's addressing it in his way that helps him deal with things, and that is through comedy. And not only does he deal with it through comedy, he actually decided to do a Netflix special, okay, dealing with him going back on the stage after 18 years. 18 years. Okay? Now, and that's on that note, right? But I will say this. When it comes down to Jamie Foxx, Passport says most men prefer younger women with less baggage. What are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about? What? Where did that come from? Hell, where did that come from? Passport, wait a minute. I'm going to read this. Passport says, let me highlight this. I can't do it. I got to highlight it. Passport said, most men prefer younger women with less baggage. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Please, people, tell me, where did that come from? Now, what I want people to understand, and can you guys hear me? Please tell me if you guys can hear me. Please type a 1. Please type a 1 if you guys can hear me. Now, what I can actually say when it comes down to what's been going on with Jamie Foxx, he has been going through a lot, but he made it through, right? However, okay, thank you. I'm just making sure you guys can hear me. Now, and thank you so much, Ronald. Thank you so much. When it comes down to what happened to Jamie Foxx on his birthday, you can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. On his birthday, Friday, this past Friday, okay, he actually got in an altercation, okay, or should I say people got in an altercation with him while he was celebrating his birthday. You cannot make this up. You cannot make this, ladies and gentlemen, okay? The day he turned 57 years old, okay, the day he turned 57 years old, which was this past Friday, he was celebrating his birthday at a high-end Chinese restaurant known as Mr. Chow Restaurant in Beverly Hills. And according to news station Fox 11, Jamie Foxx was having a birthday dinner with his family. And apparently, a party at another table, okay, started to bother him. I know my phone is going off. I know. I know, John. I know, John. And thank you for still staying in. Thank you for still staying in. Now, when it comes down to when it comes down to Jamie Foxx, out of all the times this would happen, it would be when I talk about Mr. Jamie Foxx. Now, when it comes down to what happened to Jamie Foxx, he's celebrating his birthday at Mr. Chow in Beverly Hills. Passport says that means the father would have had to drive 5 hours there and 5 hours back and stop for, wait a minute, where's all this? Wait a minute. Now, back to Jamie Foxx. When it comes down to Jamie Foxx, okay, he celebrated his birthday at a high-end restaurant named Mr. Chow. And that's when a party at another table they start heckling him and his side where he was having his birthday party. Okay, in the restaurant. Now, out of nowhere, I'll say it this way, okay? Something happened where he ended up having to go to the hospital and receive stitches because of this party, okay? Okay, this, like I said, I don't know, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Jamie. I really don't. Because it's like, he has already been through a lot, and he's just at a restaurant celebrating his 57th birthday. He looks phenomenal, okay, to be 57 years old. And people heckle him so much to the point he ends up having to go to the hospital to get stitches in his mouth. Now, according to Fox 11 News, okay, the police were called, and the matter is now in law enforcement's hands. No arrests were made, and nobody is saying anything at this point. Not even the owner, Mr. Chow, okay? Nobody's saying anything. But a representative reached out to TMZ of all people. They sent a statement to TMZ. And according to Jamie Foxx, representative said, and I quote, Jamie Foxx was at his birthday dinner when someone from another table threw glass. Okay, you see the rest. He had to get stitches and is recovering. The police were called, and the matter is now in law enforcement's hands. Now, I want people to understand this. According to reports, however, even though Jamie Foxx representative did say it's in law enforcement's hands, according to Fox 11, they said there were no arrests made, right? So why was nobody arrested? You had the proof. Jamie Foxx ended up having to go to the hospital and get stitches in his mouth from this mess, this altercation. And thank you guys for coming in. And like I stated, this happened days after Jamie Foxx released his Netflix special. MP says, what the man, they better leave Foxx alone. And that's why I said, I don't know what did Jamie Foxx do? Like, wow, what did Jamie Foxx do? Right? What did he do? I mean, come on now. I mean, I'm just trying to understand. Now, this altercation, okay, happened days after his comment Netflix special called What Had Happened Was. And I want to make sure people understand this, okay? This special has only been released. It's only been out for 6 days. And now Jamie Foxx, because he is, you guys have to check it out. I implore you guys to check it out. He did so good within the matter of 6 days. This Netflix special has already been nominated for a Global Globe. Okay? It has already been nominated for a Golden Globe. So, he must be doing something right, right? Now, Jamie Foxx, if you guys know how Jamie Foxx is, he had to put a statement out. personally on his end, on his personal Instagram page. And yes, a Golden Globe. Yes, he's nominated. After, look, it's only been out for 6 days. You guys got to know it's really good. Now, according to Jamie Foxx on his Instagram page, he said, and I quote, "The devil is busy, but I'm too blessed to be stressed." Too blessed. And I want people to understand that, right? Life is too short. And I'm one, I need to get it together, right? Myself, because I tend to overanalyze things and I tend to stress too much. But he said it best. I'm too blessed to be stressed. And I want people to understand that stress can take you out more than anything. Stress can take you out more than anything in the world. I'm so serious. It can take you out. And it can take you out before you even know it. You could be sitting by somebody and you're out. Why? Because you've been not sleeping. You've been worrying about things you don't have no control of, and about people that don't really care about you. And if they do care about you, why are you worried? Because they care about you. So why are you stressing about things you cannot control? Right? Now, this is why when it comes down to Jamie, I want to read the whole statement that he said. He said, "The devil is a lie. Can't win here. Thank you to everybody that pray and check on me. When your light is shining bright, they try to bring you darkness, but they don't know that you're built for it. The lights have been shining bright and huge. Thank you to everyone that has watched and been inspired by what had happened was #1 on at Netflix. If you haven't checked it out, please go check it out. From my heart and my soul, Jamie Foxx." Do you see how he turned lemons into lemonade? He had a stroke last year. Then to top it all off, people have been putting him with this gentleman right here. If that don't cut it, I don't know what is. People have been putting him with this particular gentleman right here. They have been putting him with Diddy with these false accusations. Then if that don't cut it, on the day of his birthday, he gets attacked, okay, by somebody, okay, so much to the point he has to go to the hospital and receive stitches in his mouth. But even with all that, he still took out the time to reach out to his fans and let people know that the devil is busy, but I'm too blessed to be stressed. And I want people to understand that, that goes a long way, right? That goes a long, long way. Don't stress over things you have no control of. Don't. Now, the last person we got to talk about. Is, and thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. The last person we have to talk about. Woo, Luigi. We got to talk about Mr. Luigi. Okay? Because when it comes down to Luigi, why did I say he's connected with Diddy too? Oh, I have a question. And I really want you guys to answer me. Okay, who's all in this, in the live. Can anybody tell me why did I say, okay, allegedly Luigi is connected to Diddy? Why did I say that? I want people to just think about it. Just think about it for a minute. Why did I say that? Right? Now, when it comes down to Luigi, if you guys don't know what happened, okay, NVM says another day, you're and thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming in. Now, when it comes down to Luigi, I want people to understand Luigi is the CEO suspect that was arrested. Yes. He was the suspect that was arrested at, yes, quote unquote, McDonald's. You can't make this up. Now, from all what has happened to him, of him being arrested at the McDonald's and this particular McDonald's here, okay, that he was arrested. The McDonald's now they have security, okay? They have heavy security at their McDonald's because of all this mess that's been going on. I want people to understand Luigi had to hire, okay, not only this lawyer, Thomas Dickey, and I'm going to show some clips of Mr. Thomas Dickey, okay? Because Mr. Thomas Dickey has been going around telling people that his client, Luigi, is quote unquote innocent, not guilty. There's no evidence. There is allegedly no evidence, okay, to prove that his client is guilty. Now, this is what his lawyer is stating. And I'm just going to show a clip of the gentleman that I'm speaking of who said, and I quote, that Luigi is innocent. And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. I want to play a little clip, and this is quote unquote fair use. Corey says, of course his lawyer is going to say that. Thank you so much, Corey. Corey says, of course, Luigi's lawyer is going to say that. Now, I want to play a clip of Luigi's lawyer, Thomas Dickey. Okay, this particular lawyer. And thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for coming in. This particular lawyer that I'm speaking of.
Thanks.
Oh, sorry. We'll get back to his lawyer. Wait a minute. We'll get back to his lawyer. Wait. Fair use. Now, when it comes down to Luigi's lawyer, that I'm going to get to it now. Fair use. He is claiming that Luigi is innocent. Okay.
It's the man charged with killing a...
Oh, good. Why? We may have to play it another live. We may have to play it another live. No. Now, when it comes down to this gentleman, I will show him. I may just have to just show him because you're not finna play with me today. You're not finna play with me today. But when it comes down to Luigi's lawyer, Thomas Dickey, okay, and one moment, give me a minute, please, you guys. When it comes down to this lawyer that I'm speaking of, I want to be able to show you who I'm talking about. This lawyer, Thomas Dickey, okay, he's basically been going around saying that his client is quote unquote not guilty. And yes, Corey, you're absolutely right. Of course, he's going to say that. However, when it comes down to Thomas Dickey, he's saying that there's no evidence. That is what he's saying. But that is the news today. That is what's the headlines today. Okay? Because according to NYPD commissioner, they now have linked positive forensic match and physical evidence to Luigi. They have linked evidence. And what is the leaked evidence? According to them, they have received, and I want to make sure I show it to you guys, when they made the arrest in the McDonald's in a small place called Altoona, Pennsylvania. Okay, the authorities in Pennsylvania, they did retrieve from Mr. Luigi, they retrieved a 3D printed pop, okay, GUN. They did retrieve that. And in addition to that, they did retrieve, okay, because they retrieved that from Pennsylvania, NYPD, they did retrieve that from Pennsylvania authorities. That's how they were able to link the quote-unquote fingerprints that was found at the scene, okay, at the scene in the front of the Hilton Hotel in Manhattan, New York. They were able to link the fingerprints found on the phone that Luigi had dropped, on the water bottle that Luigi had dropped and drunk out of, that he picked up from Starbucks before he went to his destination on December the 4th, as well as fingerprints on the actual protein wrap. All of this is coming. All of this, and this is, now we have fingerprints. Now, remember when I said, and I quote, that Diddy is allegedly linked. Yes, he's linked. He's linked. Okay, allegedly linked to all what's been going on. Right? And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. Now, when it comes down to Luigi, his attorney, Thomas Dickey, who is the attorney that is representing him in Pennsylvania, okay, he is representing him, and Luigi is currently in prison. Now, remember what I just said. He is not in jail. He is being allegedly held in a high security state prison in Pennsylvania. Yes, it is just that serious with Luigi. Okay, he hasn't even been found guilty of anything, but they are holding him in a high security level prison in Pennsylvania, state prison. Okay. Now, Luigi will have to return to court. Okay, 2 dates. The first date, December the 23rd, which is next week. He will have his preliminary hearing in regards to the state charges in Pennsylvania. And if you guys can remember, there are 2 separate charges. Okay, the first set of charges in Pennsylvania, and we discussed about those particular charges. And then he also has separate charges in regards to where? New York. Okay. So we have to take all this into what play. Why? Because Luigi's attorney, Thomas Dickey, is trying to stop them from transferring him back to where? New York, the scene of the crime, the location, the state, New York. He's trying to stop it. So we have December the 23rd, the preliminary hearing in regards to the state charges that was committed in Pennsylvania. Then you also have on December the 30th. Now, December the 30th case, that is the hearing in regards to Luigi's petition, okay? In regards to him staying, quote unquote, staying in Pennsylvania and not getting sent back to New York. He don't want to go back to New York. He'll do anything but go back to New York. But remember what I said. They have already confirmed they can link him to the crime that was committed in New York December the 1st with the CEO, Brian Thompson, okay, due to positive forensic matches. And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. And in regards to the charges for Pennsylvania, okay, in regards to the charges in Pennsylvania, that would be the preliminary hearing for December the 23rd. Okay, Mr. Luigi will be facing charges of, he is facing charges in the state of Pennsylvania, forgery, okay, tampering with records, identification, okay, GUN, not to be carried without a license, possessing instruments of a crime, and false identification to law enforcement employees. These are the crimes or charges that is being that he has in the state of Pennsylvania. And this is what the preliminary hearing will be for on December the 23rd, 2 days before Christmas here in America. Now, December the 3rd, like I stated, he will have another hearing, and that hearing will be his petition to stay in Pennsylvania and not get sent to New York. Okay, he doesn't want to go to New York. Now, when it comes down to the signs, okay, all this is coming up. Hello, Randall, who am I talking about? I'm talking about this particular gentleman. Okay, his name is Luigi. He is the gentleman that committed the quote-unquote crime against this gentleman, quote-unquote, Brian Thompson. Okay? Brian Thompson. And Brian Thompson is the quote-unquote the CEO. He was the CEO of UnitedHealthcare. Okay? UnitedHealthcare. And when it comes down to Luigi actually came up on him from behind. And let's just say Brian Thompson is no longer here to say hello. Now, when it comes down to Luigi, I want people to understand with this gentleman that we're speaking about, okay, prior to him, okay, causing Brian Thompson to pass away, I'm being very careful with my words due to quote unquote what? I'm being very careful for what? Legal reasons on YouTube guidelines, okay? But anybody who knows what happened to this particular gentleman that I'm talking about, Luigi, he did quote unquote cause this guy that you're looking at, Brian Thompson, who is or was the former CEO of UnitedHealthcare, okay? He did cause this guy to pass away on December the 4th. Now, Luigi, who's 26 years old, comes from a very prominent family background, as I discussed prior. He is the one that was found at a McDonald's, okay? Okay, after committing the crime that he did in Manhattan, New York, he was caught you can't make this up, 4 or 5 hours away from New York in Altoona, Pennsylvania. You cannot make this up, ladies and gentlemen. Now, how does all this come about when it comes down to Luigi? Okay, they stated that Luigi was missing in action. He was nowhere to be seen or heard. I told you guys this for months. But now we have a particular date, July the 1st, according to his mother from the police report in San Francisco. Okay, she filed the police report November the 18th of this year, stating that she had not seen, heard, or spoken to her son since July the 1st. Okay? July the 1st. And when it comes down to Luigi's mother, okay, that we're talking about, she was the first one that filed, right? That she hadn't seen him. Next one, Okay. The next thing that they spoke about, how his mother was reached out. Okay. His mother was reached out by the FBI. They had the authorities. They reached out to her December the let me see the officials, December the 5th. Yes. No, was it December the 5th? No, it was, when did they arrest? They said it was the day before he was arrested in McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. So they spoke to his mother the day before he was arrested, and they asked his mother, had she seen him, and they even showed her pictures of different pictures that was released from the different surveillance cameras of Luigi. Okay. And they asked her, did those pictures look like her son? Okay. These pictures, such as this. Okay. The picture of in a taxi cab. Okay. Allegedly at the hostel. Okay. In New York. Okay. He was at this hostel 10 days before. He actually came into New York on November the 24th. Okay. So when it comes down to his mother, they are questioning her the day before he ended up getting an arrest. He ended up getting arrested and getting tipped off by a McDonald's employee as well as a customer that was in McDonald's. Right? And thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for coming in. And John, I'm going to get you, John. John, I'm gonna get you, John. Now, when it comes down to, okay, how does all this come about when it comes down to him being, quote unquote, connected to this gentleman, Diddy? Okay. Oh, you're yawning at my chat. John says I'm yawning at your chat, Peachy. And thank you guys for coming in. Now, when it comes down to how is Luigi? Yes, finally. How is Luigi, quote unquote, connected to Diddy? Gotta take a deep breath. Okay? Because we already discussed about them trying to connect Jay-Z with Diddy. And then we already discussed about Jamie Foxx. Then we already discussed about them trying to connect Will Smith. And Will Smith, you know, Will Smith being Will Smith. I'll say it that way. But how is Luigi connected to Diddy? Okay? Allegedly. And the reason I'm saying Diddy is connected to Luigi because, and I want to make sure I show his actual attorneys. Yes, I want to make sure I actually show his actual attorneys. This is Diddy. This is Diddy's attorneys. Okay, and this gentleman down here, right here, Mark Agnifilo. He's the one that is the lead attorney to Diddy's quote-unquote dream team, as they say. Okay? And Mark Agnifilo has been doing a number of interviews prior to him getting quiet. The judge told the prosecutors as well as the defendants, okay, Diddy's attorneys, okay, all of these attorneys that you're looking at, the judge Arun told them, okay, they had to keep quiet. All because Mark Agnifilo was going around, okay, doing interviews and in addition to being in a TMZ special. Yes, he was actually in a TMZ special. I cannot make this up. In regards to Diddy. Now, because of all of this madness that was going on, and I want to make sure I show you Mr. Mark Agnifilo after he was told, okay, during a actual hearing, that his team, as well as the prosecutors, they can no longer speak about Diddy or the case outside of the courthouse. Okay, because according to Mark Agnifilo, he stated that Diddy is being, quote unquote, he's being set up, okay, when it comes down to not being treated fairly, and videos have been leaked out by the prosecutors. That's what Mark Agnifilo had insinuated, that Diddy videos have been leaked out. Okay, that's what was said. Okay, allegedly. Now, how is this connected to Luigi you were speaking about? Okay, surprise, surprise. I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up. Yes, Luigi has hired Mark Agnifilo, the guy who represents Diddy, who's representing Diddy in the federal trial. Luigi has hired Mark Agnifilo's wife. Yes, you heard right. He has hired, you cannot make this up, ladies and gentlemen. He has hired Mrs. Agnifilo to represent him, okay, in his case. Okay, Luigi, the CEO suspect, has hired Mark Agnifilo's wife. So now you have Thomas Dickey representing Luigi in Pennsylvania. And then now you have, okay, Mark Agnifilo's wife representing Luigi. I'm presuming she will be representing him in New York, and she's also representing him in Pennsylvania as well. Okay, you cannot make this up. And yes, he is a quote-unquote high-profile attorney, and allegedly so is she. With this lady, I think Luigi, see, this is why I think Luigi's family, they are watching everything. Because with Mrs. Agnifilo, okay, I want people to understand this. When it comes down to her, okay, she is a quote-unquote legal analyst for the channel CNN, and she has been speaking about the CEO suspect and stating that if it was her, she would think that he would plead not guilty due to insanity. Okay, so I think this is why I think she was hired, because people are watching, and I think because they watch her doing interviews recently in regards to Luigi, that is now why she is representing Luigi. Okay, and when it comes down to her, she's been a lawyer, been practicing for 30 years. Okay, 30 years. And I didn't say court. Wait. Let me make sure. Okay, threshold. Pause. No Diddy. But thank you for coming in. Threshold. Pause. No Diddy. When I'm trying to say this, okay, I did not say Luigi hired Diddy's lawyer. I said Luigi hired Diddy lawyer's wife. Okay, the wife, Mrs. Agnifilo. Okay. I want people to understand that she's the wife. She's not directly affiliated with Diddy, right? Her husband, Mark Agnifilo, is affiliated and is the lead attorney for the quote-unquote team that represents Diddy, okay? Now, I want people to understand this. This is a lot going on because at this particular time, these attorneys are very expensive. Okay, very, very expensive, and I don't know what to say, okay, when it comes down to her representing the CEO suspect, because if you guys have seen, when it comes down to this particular gentleman, and I'm going to show a clip in regards to the CEO suspect, Northern Dame says, I'm not surprised. His family is rich. Yes, yes, yes. Luigi's family is extremely rich. And I'm glad you mentioned that because nobody wants to say who is paying. Nobody wants to say who hired them. Thomas Dickey doesn't want to comment on it. And Mrs. Agnafilo, she hasn't responded to none of the comments. She's not saying anything. Okay? So this is why I really feel like it must be the family that hired her, because like I stated, she's very, very, very expensive. And like I stated, she has quote unquote been going around doing interviews stating that Luigi should, allegedly plead guilty due to insanity. And I want to show this clip, and this is fair use, or maybe one of the reasons why she said what she said, as far as pleading insanity. And this is Luigi coming out of a vehicle during the second hearing. This was last week, second hearing. Now, this person, and this is fair use. This person is, I don't know what to say about Mr. Luigi. I really don't. But what I do know, and thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. What I do know, and Mo Minor, I actually concur. Mo Minor, thank you for coming in. Mo Minor says, this whole case is strange. If the family is rich, medical costs shouldn't matter. Yes, and that is why I am glad you mentioned that, Mo, and thank you for coming in. That is why the live, the motivation live today, I'm going to change it. The quote for today is health is wealth. Why do I say that? Because there's no amount of money in the world that can cure your health unless you do it. And in regards to this CEO suspect, he has all of this money. The best, he was an engineer. He received a bachelor's and a master's in 2020, from Pennsylvania, University of Pennsylvania. All of this education, right? But once again, here he is, in a position where he committed, a crime that is said that he will be looking at allegedly life with no parole. Allegedly. And so much to the point that this attorney, she's going and she was going around doing interviews saying that allegedly Luigi needs to plead guilty due to insanity. Right? Allegedly. Now, I would speak more on this because, yes, this is the strangest. This is just strange. Very, very strange. Because like I stated, he comes from a very prominent family. He had everything given to him. He had no quote unquote struggles. Does that make sense? It's like, well, I can say this. Struggles in the sense of, does my mother and father have to worry about the lights being out tonight? Or, do I have to worry, think those kind of struggles. But just because you come from money doesn't mean you don't have struggles, right? But it'll be just on different terms of struggles. And his struggles, and the gentleman that we're talking about, his struggle was quote unquote, I'm just going to put it out there. He had back pain. Even his friend, if you guys remember me talking about this before, even one of his friends has been doing interviews, stating how Luigi had issues as far as being intimate, okay? Being in an intimate relationship with people due to his back issues. And he went through a very painful surgery earlier this year. And that was around the time he went MIA on a lot of people. Northern Dame says mental illness has no priorities. Anyone can suffer from. Yes, thank you. And let me pin that. Yes, Northern Dame. Yes. Yes, it really does. And Thresh, thank you for coming in, Threshold. Now, when it comes down to this particular person that we're speaking of, Mr. Luigi, now we're in a position of Diddy will be represented by Mark Agnifilo, and Luigi will be represented by Mark Agnifilo's wife, Mrs. Agnifilo. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. And John says, everyone stopped long ago. What are you talking about, John? And So Real TV says salute to you, So Real TV. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Now, last thing I want to talk about in regards to Luigi. Okay, I might come back later on today and do some more, a little bit more talk about this. But yes, there's more in regards to this Luigi, because Luigi has been getting a huge fan base. A huge fan base. Notice what I said. He's been getting a huge fan base in regards to not only his looks, right? He's also been getting a fan base based off of his actions, okay? Of what he committed on December the 4th, okay? Now, a lot of people feel that what he did was, heroic, but I don't condone any of this. I do not condone any of this. But what I had to talk about this, because you cannot make this up, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, I said Luigi comes from a very prominent family with money. With money. Now, if you can read what I have typed out, Luigi is getting support from both inside the prison that he's in, as well as outside. Okay? And because he's been getting heavy support, people have started several donation accounts on a man whose family are multi-millionaires. Here I am. I can't even get $2. But anyway. But Luigi's family is worth multi-millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. But remember what I said, okay? Remember what I just said. People are raising donations. So much GoFundMe had to come in and pull some accounts down, okay? And now, from what I have looked up, there's an account called GivesInGo. It's on givesingo.com. Okay. Okay, it's on givesingo.com. And they have raised, from what I looked at, $127,000 for the CEO suspect. You cannot make this up. A man who is allegedly family is worth millions and millions of dollars. Okay? Who was working as an engineer prior to this madness. Okay, before he got laid off. We'll talk about that the next live. They have raised, as of when I looked it up, $127,000 Okay. Now, me personally, I told you guys, Luigi could have went about this a whole different route. Because look at just how much influence he has. He has found some people to raise $127,000, and he had nothing to do with this so-called donation account. It has been started by an organization that are raising money for him. Okay, and as you guys can see, the highest amount, okay, that comes from one anonymous donor was $1,300. $1,300. Now, I'm just gonna be honest. Some people don't even see that in 1 month. Okay, some people don't even see $1,300 a month. But somebody was eager enough to donate to an organization under givesendgo.com. $1,300. Okay. And I want people to understand this. When it comes down to Luigi's attorneys, Thomas Dickey, as well as, I want to make sure I show him, Thomas Dickey, this attorney right here, as well as Mrs. Agnifilo, they are not accepting any of these donations as of yet. They're not accepting none of these donations. Okay? And I want people to understand this. Okay? If you want to help people who need help, it does not make sense to donate money to a multi-millionaire. What in the heck is going on? Okay? This makes no sense. I'm just going to be honest. It makes no sense for somebody who already has millions and millions of dollars, and you guys, not you, somebody, okay, I don't know if anybody in the live, if anybody in the live has, I'll say it this way, I'm going to put it out there, okay? I'm going to put it out there, okay? Anybody who is in this live right now, I'm going to make sure I save this. I'm going to talk about this every live moving forward. This is going to be a break. Anybody who has $1,300 to donate to somebody that you know is going to look at life in prison, okay, and whose family is worth millions and millions of dollars, can I get $5? God dang it. I'm saying it. $5. If you got money, if you got $1,300 to spare to a quote unquote, and I'm going to be honest, allegedly, okay, somebody like Luigi, who allegedly did what he did to that CEO, Brian Thompson. Okay, $5. Because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Because at this point, you know what? Forget it. 99 cents. I said it. 99 cents. And shame on you guys for donating $1,300, $1,234, and $1,000 to somebody that is, he got millions. Millions. And I want you guys to understand this. We talked about this the last live. When it comes down to the healthcare insurance, how the foundation of healthcare here in America, okay, I spoke about it. I spoke of a gentleman by the name of Frederick Hoffman. Okay, Frederick Hoffman. Okay, he was the quote unquote allegedly foundation of healthcare being privatized here in America. I spoke about this gentleman from Germany. It goes all the way back to 1895. This is why people have to do their research and be informed. Be informed for yourself. Okay, that's why I say this. Don't be mad, okay, at something that it was founded, okay. It wasn't founded to help the quote-unquote poor. It wasn't founded to help the quote-unquote sick. It wasn't founded to help the quote-unquote middle class, right? Privatized healthcare insurance. These are things we have to look at. These are things we have to take note on. So why would you get so upset, okay, where you put your money into somebody that already has money? It makes no sense. Because I'm being honest, $1,300, they could have went to somebody who needed $1,300 to have surgery, okay? Who needed $1,300, who has no place to stay. But this particular gentleman, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Luigi, this man comes from a family that had country clubs, that owns nursing homes. Like, come on now. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest. And thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Now, I will say this before I go. Okay, thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate it so much. I will talk about, okay, the political side of what's been going on in the next live, not this live. But to make this live be a little bit about it, I will say this much. And I want people to understand this, okay? My question for you guys, okay, before I go. Do you think Donald Trump will help this nation and help this world as a whole once he officially gets into office? Gets officially into office January the 20th, okay? And I say that because of what's been going on recently. Joe Biden has been relinquishing a number of funds, okay, billions and billions of dollars, okay, to support and provide military aid for a war. Amanda said, yes, he will. And thank you so much. Amanda, thank you. I didn't know you were still here. Thank you so much, Amanda, for coming in. And I want you guys to think about that. Put it in the comments after this live, replay this live. And Northern Dame says, I'm in the middle. And this is why I'm going to talk about it even more on things that's been going on. Okay? Things that's been going on recently. Okay? Things that's been going on recently. Especially with this guy. But, I'm sorry, not him, but this guy. This guy. What's been going on recently? But thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate it. I wanted to kind of split it up a little bit this live. I might come back in later on in the evening time, Eastern time here in America. I might do that. We shall see. But before I go, as you guys know, I always end the live with motivational words. And like I stated, I changed the quote for today. Health is wealth. Okay, it is health is wealth. Okay, and before I go, shout out to Northern Dame. Shout out to Amanda. Shout out to Threshold. Okay, you was doing a lot, Threshold, this morning. You was doing a lot. Shout out to Jay Strange. Shout out to Ellie. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to John. Shout out to So Real TV. Shout out to Tamala. Ooh, a lot of people came in here. Shout out to Mo Minor. Shout out to a lot of people. Shout out. Shout out to Rando. Shout out to Philip. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Joshua. Shout out to Art of War. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to everybody that came in the live. Shout out to Inner Beauty Blessings. Shout out to Ronald. Ooh, a lot of people. Shout out to Rebel. Shout out to Junkyard. Shout out to, I'm shouting out. Shout out to everybody that came into the live. I appreciate it so much. I want to make sure I got, especially all my moms, I got to give you guys a big shout out. Thank you. And shout out to Amanda. Art of War says, have a good day, news lady. Amanda says, thank you for the great coverage as usual. Northern Dame says, interesting interesting show. See you on the next live. Thank you guys so much. Now, I don't know if you noticed this. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but there was a different tone in this live. Okay, I'm not gonna say too much. I'll say it later in the next live. But this was a test. Okay, this live was a test. This life was a test. But thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate it so much. And shout out to the Herbal Goddess. Shout out to the Herbal Goddess. Now, before I go, I always say positive words before I go. First thing, eliminate the if, focus on the present. Second thing, focus on self, not others. Third, say I will learn something new every day. Fourth, tell yourself I will not get upset at what I can't control. And last but not least, advocate for yourself, because if you don't speak up for yourself or advocate, who will speak up for you? And thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Okay. And also, if you would like to support the channel even more, you can donate a super chat, sticker, or also become a member to the platform. And thank you guys for coming in. This is Polly Graham, and always remember, have a peace of mind and always be in peace. This is Politic Graham. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.